Hello and welcome to round 2 of season 10 here in the PSF1 Championship. We've got a Renault, that's Kingdom Martin, who has managed to put it in the wall very early on. We did see he got a 5-place grid penalty as well earlier on for causing a collision with Alduro, so he will be starting right down to the back. And yeah, not the best of starts for him, that's for sure.
Yeah, one of the best of starts, and hello and welcome to Singapore as well. We're here to see how this race is going to go. It's going to be very, very, very tight on the strategy, and it's going to be a very technical race, so it's going to be quite, what should we say? At the moment, Aldoro on his lap, but hits the wall and breaks part of his front wing, and he goes into the pits straight away.
So interesting there. And Blizzard, did he must have hit the wall coming out of the turn 21, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, not the hardest place to hit your wing, that's for sure. It does sort of invite you to accelerate out. I know he's obviously just taken a little bit too much there. And at the moment, Milan is actually on pace. We haven't seen this in a long time from him, but at the moment on the hypersofts, he's not doing a bad job.
Not too bad. Surf lap, 36.4. Only 2 tenths down on Aldoro. Still getting some fighting form at the moment, but early days yet. Still 12 minutes after qualifying, he could improve in that time. We're thinking probably 35, mid 35s potentially. Would be for F3, and then F1 would be about half a second faster, would you imagine? But yep, it looks pretty close right now. Other people haven't set a lap yet. Martin I think is on a lap.
It's interesting that nobody set a lap after 6 minutes. There's only 2 cars that have. Oh my goodness, what was the Haas doing there? That was the Lee, and he's got a significant amount of front wing damage on the right hand side, as you can see. But he's coming to the pits again. No lap set. Let's have a quick look at the race director. As you can see, a load of invalidated lap times.
Okay, I'm back.
Eusebio has also managed to put it in the wall somewhere.
You noticed as well, like, it's easy to cut the first corner, well, second corner, and turn 5, and through the Anderson Bridge, so it's very tricky in terms of validations. It's tricky to try to attack it as best you can without validating, as is, so it's just qualifying. But we'll see how it goes on from that.
Alduro is still on theoretical pole with 36 to provisional pole, sorry. I do apologise if I'm a bit quiet as well. I'm not feeling the best today, so toned it down a little bit. But yeah, what was I going to say? I can't remember. Anyway, we've got Marklin currently third, very, very close. Oh, there's a Red Bull with the wall, and that I'm presuming is Zonda. No, it's his teammate Marklin.
There is sort of an invisible wall around that corner as well. You go wide, you probably could literally touch the little wall and break your front wheel. Luckily,
yeah, we saw that earlier, didn't we? It was interesting to see that, that's for sure. Marklin cutting across the former Singapore sling. But at the moment, we haven't really got many cars on a lap. Ollie was quick last week.
Moscow's really messes up the Anderson Bridge, but yeah, times aren't looking that quick, but I think they'll probably improve. Like, we haven't seen Ozanoni or I don't know Hamilton set a lap time yet.
Very close to the walls as he comes through the middle sector over the bridge.
Steph, probably soon everyone on that right now. Just about to set a lap soon.
Ollie looking quick. Got to get this last sector bang on. You can lose so much time by even getting one corner wrong. All 90-degree left and right handers in this last sector. Apart from, of course, the last couple of corners. Not hooking on the inside of the curve, which is interesting. Into the last couple of corners now. Downshifts. And he sets a 36.0, so again, not much in it. But only half the session time elapsed, so there is plenty of time for improvement, as you said.
I think that 8 minutes is still a lot of time. Seb still think he's flying up. He's coming through the straight, turn 6. Let's see Apex well. Goes onto another 90-degree corner. Not to turn 7 and 8. The yellow flags, so he's probably going to incident somewhere else.
Milan is coming back out, unless that's Manuel Hamilton. And Blizzard, well in front of everyone else at 34.7. And as you can see, where is it? The gap I cannot get up. There we go, 1.2 seconds, so substantially faster than everyone else. Interestingly, I've just realised Ollie actually set his lap on ultra softs, so that is interesting.
Yeah, the Hypersofts, we were looking at that earlier, as Hypersoft looking to last like 4 laps, maybe 5. They do go for really quickly, and the trick is to manage them so you get to your stint and turn them away, and either go for the ultras, do a 2-stop, or softs, 1-stop.
Yep, Aldoro onto another lap then, as Seb does a 34.6. So we've got two guys really pushing and making a mark. I don't think anyone else will get close to that. It will be those two. Aldoro passing his teammate there, coming through turn 6 into turn 7. Then tricky braking zone this. Gets it spot on. Didn't see what his improvement was in the first sector, but it looks pretty clean. It's this tricky little section now. The old Singapore sling chicane. Into the hairpin then. Using second gear. Some drivers will change down to first gear sometimes.
Does improve his middle sector. Looking good so far.
Everyone out at the moment with a third of the session time remaining. 34.6 is currently provisional pole from Seb. See what Aldoro can do in this last sector slides as he comes out the tunnel. You know what, I don't think he's going to be anywhere near the top two guys still. Probably about a second. He's going to come across the line. It's going to be a 35.7. So I did say a second, it was pretty much spot on. But yeah, it just shows that these two up front have got immense pace.
Yeah. Seb being very consistent in the 36.4 personal pole. Get to see what Ollie could do. You have to say, oh no, he's 36.0. Well, you have to do on the episode. So unless he's not qualifying out again, which he's entitled to do. See what he can do.
Mini coming onto a lap as well, using also hyper softs. Everyone using the hyper softs at the moment. Mini goes on to another lap then. Marklin also on a lap. Thought he may have clipped the wall there, but no. Keeps going. Miles as well, he's the fastest of the sort of bottom half at the moment. Still 3 seconds off though. It's under Shane the Boss, Aaron, Manuel Hamilton, Kingham, JJ and Bendel yet to set times. So it's interesting actually that those guys haven't set times yet, considering there's only 4.5 minutes left.
It's interesting, I think, because of the tyre differential between the ultras and hypers.
Interesting.
Not qualified at all.
Manuel Hamilton has put a lap in, and I think he's on the ultra softs. I'm not sure actually. No, he's on the hypers. But he's going for another lap. He was 4 seconds down the last one. He's already improved by 1.5 seconds. Almost loses it coming out of turn 7.
I think he managed there. He went really wide.
Yeah, he's backed off, hasn't he? We can come back in and go for another run. So that's not an issue.
Yeah, he still has enough time. Just about.
Zonda meanwhile was on a lap. think Zonda's on a lap anyway, he's quite conservative. Where is Mini? Here he is in the last sector. Feathering the throttle. He's actually coming into the pit, so he feels either he's invalidated or wasn't improving. So again, another driver pits. Just watching Milan now. See if he can improve on his first sector. And it's not going to tell us, unfortunately. So we'll come back to him in a minute. Marklin is 3 seconds down, so he'll be building up for a lap or going to the pits as he cuts across the track.
And he hit the wall on his last lap. Unfortunately, he broke his front wing, so I think that's his qualifying done.
Who was that, sorry?
Milan.
So yeah, unless he can get back to the pits in the next 30 seconds, which is unlikely from this position, he is done with a 36.4. Kingdom JJ yet to set a time is on the Ultra Softs, which is interesting because he's not particularly quick, but we'll see what time he does on those Ultras. Obviously feel he's got a little bit more pace.
Yeah, I think he's trying to get high, but I think his target's probably 89.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Seb and Blizzard are back out on circuit along with Alduro, Ollie coming out of the pits as well. Marklin, I don't think he's coming out, so he is done with qualifying. That is his qualifying over. Milan comes out now. He's going to be very close. He's going to have about 10 seconds to spare. Oh, and he's retired. Not sure what's happened there then. Lee starts his last lap as well. He's actually got time for a second.
Just watching MJJ do his lap on the Ultras. There's no okay.
Aaron as well, not coming out. Interesting then. We've got Mini as well on an out lap. The top two are on laps as well. Not that they're on out laps, not quite sure why it's telling me they're not. So at the moment Milan, Lee, Miles, Bendel, Kingdom Martin and Eusebio are done with qualifying. And now we watch Seb in the McLaren as he goes round for his final run. Blizzard as well, also on his final run. So let's see what Blizzard does in the first sector. So 26.2, is that an improvement on his previous best lap time? Seb goes faster, so 26.1 in the first. Oh, Blizzard! What's happened there? He's retired. He's obviously invalidated somewhere, which means that Seb has guaranteed pole. Mockin's left the session. Oh no, that is not good. Mini as well going round again. Checker flag has fallen. And unfortunately for Ollie, I don't think it's going to be enough to get any higher than fourth. Not sure what happened there. Oh, he's actually got onto a lap. That can't be right, surely. No, he is actually on a lap, as you can see there. He's gone horribly deep. And he's now lost the back end, unfortunately for Ollie. Just wasn't meant to be. Adoro is still going round. Back to Seb then.
Seb taking pole position.
And he's invalidated with 3 corners to go. So I'm pretty sure he invalidated. Anyway, let's just have a little look. Yep, indeed he did. He was 3/10 up on his time as well, so he was almost on for 30, not quite 33. It would have been a good lap time nonetheless. Just waiting now for Zonda. and Kingdom JJ. Both in the middle sector. But Kingdom JJ's time... Oh no, he's actually done a lap. He's P10 on the Ultras.
Just making it into the top 10. So you will start on those tyres.
He will indeed, yeah. He's actually just been pushed out down to P11 by Manuel Hamilton. He's put in a great lap and got P3. It's a good time for him.
3 attempts. That time lucky, I guess, and close enough to P3. 34.9.
34.9, a good lap.
Respectable time, but still 3 tenths down on Seb.
Sonda well off in the end, 4+ seconds off pole. We just wait for the guys that are in the pit lane to retire from the session, and then we'll give you the final classification from qualifying. Ah, it's King JJ, that's why. There we go. Bad lap, would rather a better strategy. That's a good call. Not quite sure who that was in the stream, but yep. There we go then. Final classifications for qualifying. Seb on pole, Blizzard second, Manuel Hamilton and Alduro on row 2. Row 3 is Ollie and Markley. Row 4 is Milan and Dali. Row 5 is Minnie and Aaron. Row 6 starting outside the top 10 on the well, what presumably will be Ultrasoft and Kingdom JJ is P11, P12 is Miles, P13 Bendel, P14 Zonda, P15 the last set time is Shane the Boss. Kingdom Martin has a 5-place grid penalty, and Eusebio also not setting a time. Aaron as well also starting on the Ultrasofts inside the top 10, I noticed there.
Strategy is going to be quite key here, because it's going to be a fully dry race, we imagine, and Hypersofts only last at best 5 laps, we imagine, so we're looking at probably a 1 stop if you want to go throw away the Hypersofts, go straight to softs. Or you could 2 stop, or Hypersofts, Ultras. That is a strategy they could have to think about that.
Yeah, of course,
as we wait
no Super Softs this year, so it does change things up a little bit. Alduro will receive another reprimand, as he did last week. Pretty sure it was him last week anyway.
I can't remember, but yes. I was going to say it's about the 2-minute rule, but it's been broken before I spoke about it. But yeah. But time strategy is going to be interesting to see how they can handle the Hypersofts and all the Ultrasofts, depending on how they started out in this time.
Yeah, it will be interesting actually. As you say, they wear very quickly with the high fuel loads as well. The Hypersofts give up very easily. So just try and get into broadcast cam. Let us, there we go. So let's just have a little look who's on what tyre, slightly further down. And everyone on the Hypersofts inside the top 10 apart from Ollie and Aaron on the Ultrasoft tyres. Everyone outside the top 10 starting on Ultras. So they'll be hoping for a safety car around the time of the first pit stops. So just after the first pit stops, because that will really play into their hands then, and the guys behind will be stuck in that traffic.
It also helped if there was a safety car early on for Hypersoft tyres. It's easy to throw away those Hypersofts. Save the trouble of pitting on their respective lap time, because those tyres do die, as we found out. But safety car will be key on both parts, as it is quite likely to come here. Anything can happen in Singapore. We'll see how well they can be able to cope.
Interesting to see if Manuel Hamilton can stay with the front guys. He suffered last week. If you recall, he was right behind the leaders just before the pit stops, and after he stopped he was 3 seconds off and could not catch. After that, of course, no Francis this week. He said he might have been able to get back in time, but obviously he was unable to. So unfortunately he won't be joining us this evening. Along with Zagalego and Bulldogs as well, who's yet to make an appearance in the league. For this season anyway.
2 races down. We had one missing button of the top contenders for F2. It could help out Seb, Blizzard, and Hamilton.
Yep, definitely. Just speaking about F2 as well, you've got the mid-season promotions, of course, after round 6, and that will be the number of spaces vacant in F2 will be filled by the top drivers from F3. For now, it's still early days, round 2. Just wait for the final cars to come on to the back of the grid. Zonda's trailing the back at the moment. It'll be interesting to see because it is very, very slidey in the first few laps when the rubber isn't necessarily there and you're getting used to the tyres and the high fuel load.
It'll be interesting to see how it goes.
So here we go then. 5 red lights for the Singapore Grand Prix here for round 2 of PSF1 F3. Again, we have the delay and we're finally away. Drive through penalty for Marklin already. Up the inside goes Alduro into turn 1 then. We've got a Haas clashing with a Red Bull. That's the Mercedes of Mini getting into a little bit of trouble. Other than that, I think, oh my goodness, what was happening there? We've got a Sauber mounting the Red Bull of Zonda. That's Milan. I think everyone has got through unscathed, which is good. Oh no, I spoke too soon. Kingdom Martin has wing damage. Seb defending early on.
Alduro goes on the inside into turn 5 and gets moved on. To 6 and 7.
Did Blizzard touch the wall there? Just about gets away with it, and he's up the inside. Oh, there's contact, big contact. Seb has lofted his wing. That'll be huge for him. As they come through now, yeah, Seb struggling with the understeer, and he will be in at the end of his lap for a wing change, I would have thought. As Blizzard will now fly off into the distance. We'll see if he says anything about that later on. Alduro charging up the inside, slightly rash, but just about gets away with it. Seb is losing positions left, right and centre at the moment. There's a 3-way duel at the back. Eusebio and Kingdom Martin are both out, and there is a VSC.
It's interesting what Seb will do now with that front wing. It's going to go what, ultra soft, so you'd imagine was soft. It's unfortunate he had that contact with Blizzard, but we'll see how he can get it done. Alduro made up 2 positions at an incredible scrap with Hamilton into turn 6 and 7. Got up to that position before that contact was made with 7 Blizzard.
Is the VSC going to finish?
Yes,
And it has, unfortunately for Seb, and he is coming at the end of this lap. Unfortunately for him, Blizzard and himself made contact. That has really affected his race. Also into the pits is Mini, so that's interesting. They can still make the strategy work. Looks like it's ultra soft for the Mercedes, and it is going to be a set of the ultra softs as well for the McLaren. Shane the Boss also in for a set of soft tyres, and Marklin follows him in along with Bendel, also on softs. Let's get the tyres up here. So softs for Bendel and Shane the Boss, Marklin, Mini, Seb, all on the ultra soft tyres. The last of the hyper soft is Milan, and in front of him we've got Miles, Zonda and Kingham JJ all on the ultra softs, along with Aaron, who's up to 5th somehow, and Ollie also in 4th, doing very well on those ultra soft tyres early on.
Interesting to see the strategy. So Seb is guaranteed doing 2 stops for the remainder of the race, so he'll be able to make up his positions after that. It's unfortunate for him on the first lap. But Blizzard now has a 2.3 second lead on Alduro.
Is he good on worn tyres? That will be a huge game changer in this race. 4th on the ultra softs is Ollie, and he's staying with Manuel Hamilton. He's doing a fantastic job right now. Seb,
Ollie is a dark horse in this.
Yeah, he's putting in the lap times he needs at the moment, along with Aaron as well behind him, not too far back. Guys on the ultra softs will play a huge part in this race.
Yeah, Alduro is struggling on his hyper softs already.
Yeah, he is. He's all over the place, isn't he? And as the Ferrari of Manuel Hamilton comes past, sort of through the last corner into turn 1, he's going to get followed through by Ollie. Well, not quite. Ollie holding position 4 now, of course. Ollie on the ultra softs, he doesn't need to push. And the Lee has made another pit stop. I'm pretty sure it's a second stop. No, it's not. I'm imagining things. But at the moment, he is in the pit lane and will tumble down the order very shortly. In the meantime, Ollie is making a move. Is Alduro going to fight back? He is. It's a late lunge. It's a desperate lunge, really. And Ollie will take the position back there. Although Alduro is having that, and that is very, very, very rash from Alduro. Ollie well and truly shoved into the wall there, and it wouldn't surprise me if Alduro receives a penalty for that one later on.
That was very rash and didn't done that. I know he was on the hypersofts and he was struggling, but trying to go for a lunge that you know is not going to work out is not really a clever idea, unfortunately.
Well, we already saw a rash move from him into the hairpin on Seb earlier on the first lap, and he's putting out more rash moves. Stays in front of Aaron for now though, but Aaron has the traction on the exit. As they come into the final sector now, this twisty section up the inside he goes. Alduro trying to stay around the outside, and he's lost the back end. Is there going to be contact between himself and the Renault? Oh, the Renault hits the wall. I think he just gets away with it though. Oh my goodness, what is Alduro doing there? He's sliding again, way too much power, way too early for the Toro Rosso driver. He's sliding all over the place. Would surprise me if he's in at the end of this lap, and he is indeed in Milan, up into 5th then.
That's Manuel Hamilton pits early as well.
And a 5-second stop go for Alduro as well. So looking at this early on, we've got a lot of the Hypersoft runners in, as you say. But at the moment we've got Zonda up 9, Milan up 3, Kingham JJ up 8, and Aaron also up 8. Tremendous stuff from those guys.
The Ultras are playing a big part, but the only person that's actually holding on to them very well is Blizzard. Now has a 9.5-second lead on Aaron.
It's about a 30-second pit stop if I'm not mistaken, or about 27-28 to be precise. So he will come out in front of Manuel Hamilton by about 4 seconds, and also in front of Seb, who is currently battling with Manuel Hamilton for that P6 position.
Yeah, it's interesting that all of the Hypersoft runners, some of them went on Ultras, which is interesting enough. Some stuck to the softs, trying to go to the end on those tyres. Two strategies quicker. Looks like two-stop always generally is. Still catching Manuel Hamilton.
Just want to watch this gap between Aaron and Blizzard, because if Aaron starts catching, Blizzard needs to pit, and he is struggling, to be fair, Blizzard, and he does pit at the end of lap 4. These hypers do not last long. He comes into the pits nice and slow, and he will put on a fresh set of rubber. What's going on? It looks like the purple Ultrasofts. Indeed it is. Ultrasoft tyres for the race leader. Whereas Zonda's going to get him. I don't think Manuel Hamilton will. Too far back.
Second place.
It's going to be close though. Blizzard pit exit now. Here comes Hamilton. Agonisingly close, and he will have the overspeed into turn 1. And he has that undercut. Look at the gap. He's managed to bring it down by a good 3 seconds. He was about 3-4 behind, so he really made that work there, the undercut. But more importantly, Blizzard still has the position.
And Ultrasoft, so he's thinking two-stop is the way to go. As much as the top 8 is, except for Milan.
Milan's still going on Hypersofts, and he's got wing damage. I'm astonished. Unfortunately, his car sounds like a washing machine, so we won't stay on board with him for too long. Eusebio leaves the session after retiring. Interesting that the two that DNF'd in quali have DNF'd in the race first. So it just goes to show.
It's unlucky. From the first lap, I think they've just gone through many calamities and just called it a day.
Milan still staying with Kingham JJ. I know he's not the quickest, but Kingham JJ is being given a run for his money here on those dead Hypersofts that Milan is pursuing him on. And I may be wrong here, but it looks like the Renault is catching that McLaren up front. Milan goes... Oh, I thought he was going to go again there. indeed he comes into the pits at the end of lap 6, so he's done well there, really well. Sorry, end of lap 5, not lap 6.
It's on the pits early on his ultra soft tires. He's only been on those tires for like 3 laps.
He does have the wing damage though, that's probably the reason for his stop. Onto the soft tyres, and he has got that 5-second stop go from wherever it was. I saw it earlier. But yep, he's going to get passed by Miles as well by the looks of it, and Bendel. The Lee, I think, pretty safe, although he's got front wing damage along with Shane the Boss, and Ollie also has wing damage. Marklin has left the session by the looks of it, and Mini rounds out the pack. He's coming to the pits at the end of the last lap, and he's already made 2 stops, hence why he's so far behind. And meanwhile, that gap has come down. It's half the gap in less than a lap, and Ollie is gone. So we're sure what's gone on there. He's obviously just had enough. Already we have 3 retirements in the first 6 laps.
Still 25 laps to go, and Singapore is a very, very, very long race. Can be quite technical as well, and Lewis is now extending his gap on Hamilton.
In fairness to Seb, he's only 8 seconds behind Blizzard, so he's actually not done too bad with that wing change in the end. He's obviously got a little bit of an undercut there in a sense. It's actually played into his hands a little bit, so not all lost so far for him, although Blizzard is flying right now on those ultras.
Yeah, they all have to pit again, so all you have to do is really just catch up to Hamilton as best as he can. He did show that in pace he is a few tenths killing him, albeit now on older tyres. He can be able to maintain or even better that gap would be very positive for him.
Yeah, I've just looking at Manuel Hamilton, I'm pretty sure he's picked up 6 seconds of time bend in the last 2-3 laps. So although the gap is staying there, he's actually massively hindering his overall race.
Yeah, he is being under threat, but oh, there's Seb disconnects from the session. That's unfortunate.
That is interesting, and I can't no, it wasn't him last week. It was Francis. So I'm not quite sure what's gone on there. Unfortunately, Alduro will catch him, although Alduro will be investigated after the race. Blizzard's got past. Him, JJ, have missed that one. He's going to get past Aaron as well. Through goes the Mercedes. A little bit of contact maybe there. The Ferrari down the inside of the Renault, slightly further behind. He's cut the corner though, and he's going to have paid the price for that one with a warning. Manuel Hamilton trying desperately to get past these guys because he's racing the leader, and look how close he is to the back of that Renault. Coming to the last sector, Blizzard is gone already. How slow these guys are. The Ferrari desperate to get past. Aaron is basically stopping on the apexes of the corners. He's going to have a look into the penultimate corner. Backs out, goes for it again. Kingdom JJ backing out as well. And he may get Aaron as well into turn 1. I think he's just a bit too far back though. And Blizzard dealt with that traffic well because he did what he could as quick as he could, and he's doubled his gap already to Manuel Hamilton, who has eventually got past Aaron. But Aaron will have DRS here, so we'll be able to fight back.
I think we should leave it. I think Hamilton needs to regain back all that time he lost. He lost about 1.4 seconds, as you mentioned. From that traffic, it was unfortunate for him, but I think really quite a tall order.
To be honest, he only lost 6/10. Sorry, that's just got up to a second. He was 1.6 behind. It was 2.1 just now. It's coming down again, but he's definitely got a little bit of pace. Seb is once again disconnected. Not quite sure what's going on there. But yeah, these guys still yet to pit as well, so they're doing a tremendous job. Bendel in 8th place on those soft tyres. He's making that work quite well. Miles are just coming to the pits also. He's on a fresh set of ultras. Shane the Boss gets another 3-second time penalty.
As Blizzard makes a mistake, does he? He does make a mistake. They both make mistakes.
Oh my goodness! What's happened there? Well, Manuel Hamilton's taking the lead. I completely missed that. I was looking further down for a little scrap, and Hamilton's got wing damage, but he is in front. So not quite sure what's gone on there.
So Blizzard outbraked himself, missed the corner completely and hit the wall. I don't think he had damage, it doesn't look like. Hamilton followed him and he broke his front wing. It's unfortunate, but that was... I didn't expect that. It was just that was something I didn't expect. Now Blizzard all of a sudden has to push back, even though Hamilton does have a broken front wing.
Not to mention an excessive amount of time penalties. This could help Aaron close back up though. He's a bit too far behind to make a move as the Mercedes. The two behind are fighting. King and JJ up the inside. He's made the move, but he's going to make it stick. I think he has. Yeah, the McLaren tucks in behind. He may have got wing damage there actually. No. This is all helping Seb as well, although Seb has disconnected, so never mind that. You can just see the amount of time that Hamilton is losing.
Yeah, Blizzard gained about a second on Hamilton.
Shane the Boss, another 3-second time penalty. Be lucky to get out of this race without being disqualified. Oh, Hamilton at the moment keeping Blizzard at bay. Until they stop again, that's what he's got to do. Seb is closing that gap quickly though to the two ultra soft runners in front. This could be a chance though for Blizzard. DRS, he had a better exit as well. Not close enough though, doesn't want to go for the lunge just yet.
Best chances through the second DRS straight. You can maintain this gap.
Only 4/10 behind. Dirty Yellow's going to affect him. Has a little bit of a power slide out of turn 5. Is he going to get him up the inside to turn 7? Maybe Hamilton doesn't defend, and that is an easy move for the Mercedes.
As yellow flags, though. There was yellow flags, so you have to give that position back.
Back up the inside goes Manuel Hamilton. Blizzard still has the inside though for the next corner, and he's run horribly wide there as the Ferrari. And he's hit the wall as well. I think he may have just got away with that. He's still got that front left damage though. Blizzard tucked up behind that Ferrari like he's stuck to the back of it with glue. And again the Ferrari hits the wall. More yellow flags. Not sure where these yellow flags are coming from. Oh! It's Aaron. Oh no, he's pitted, that's why. I was going to say he's dropped off.
It was,
and Hamilton has just made a mistake, which has allowed Blizzard back into the lead of the race. Hamilton making mistakes left, right and centre.
Hamilton does have that front damage. Might need to pit again.
Milan fighting Elduro for P4. Sorry, P5 at the moment. And behind them is... no, sorry, it's... No, it is. It's Elduro... Oh, these guys are a lap down behind them. I think they are. They are a lap down. That is Shane the Boss. Yeah, and he's trying with the lead to unlap it. Oh no, not here, boys. Think about it. Abdul's had a big moment coming out of the final corner. Lee's going to try and unlap himself. He's hit the back of the Toro Rosso with no front wheel. You can't be doing that. He's lost the position to Shane in the process, although he's trying to go back up the inside. This is the fight for P13 you're watching right now, between the Haas and the Toro Rosso. And Elduro is sliding again. He's obviously got way too much ballast in that car. Milan has gone flying up the road. Milan on fairly fresh tyres, 5 laps. Of course he did take those hypersofts fairly long in his first stint. At the moment, Aaron is actually going to jump Blizzard when Blizzard pits if he doesn't open the gap up again. So that's fairly interesting to note. Team JJ still yet to stop. Oh my goodness, what's going on here? Oh dear, what is going on between these two? So the second Toro Rosso is Shane. The Lee is behind him. And they are causing way too much. Oh no, Shane, what are you doing? Trying to get up the inside of his teammate. They're not racing full position. Shane is way down. He's actually a lap down, trying to unlap himself. He's just getting in the way though.
And Aaron is caught in the mix of it.
Yep, where is Shane? He needs to let Aaron pass, otherwise he's going to get a penalty, and he does. Honestly, I don't know why he's put himself in that position where he's fighting. Into the pits comes Abduro. I think Aaron will be a bit grateful the fact that he was not caught up in any of that in the end. It fell quite nicely for him in the end.
Interesting enough, despite all this, Seb is still in second place, despite being disconnected. And
I don't know if Miles has left the session or not, but he's ghosted, so he won't be classified if he stays ghosted. So hopefully he gets back in his car quickly. Marklin also left the session, but they're currently both ahead of Shane the Boss and the Lee. So yeah, although they won't be classified, Shane the Boss picks up another 3-second time penalty. Extraordinary. Mini, I think, would be preying on a safety car right now. He's on those soft tyres. He's P9. He's 1.6 behind Zonda, who's on softs as well. He's probably a lot quicker than Zonda also. Team JJ has made his pit stop at last. Bendel up to P6 on the softs. And he has made a pit stop, so he's doing well there. Manuel Hampton has gone into the pits and put on these soft tyres, so he's obviously felt that front wing was hindering him too much. Which means now Seb's AI car is currently P2.
Yeah.
Which means Blizzard has a huge lead of 17 seconds over Milan out of all people. So he's doing well, Milan. We've got a yellow in sector 2 and 3. I saw someone off in the background.
Lee. Who have missed.
Oh yeah, he has.
17 completely.
Front wing is gone.
Only recently got on the Ultra Soft as well, just 2 laps in. Still missed, still spun.
Here we go, Mini on Zonda then. Zonda going defensive into the tunnel. Lee has again put it in the wall. But this is the battle for P7 technically, because Seb isn't in the session. Mini looking to attack the back of that Red Bull. He's got a much better run, although he has got a little bit wide. He may have picked up a warning.
VSC is out.
Oh, so I did wonder why the DRS wasn't deployed. This could play into the hands of Blizzard, but he's too far behind, too far from the pit lane rather. This is going to affect Milan as well because he's right behind Seb. Who's near the pits? Anyone? Nope, only the guys too far down. So Shane is actually on for a point right now because everyone in front of him is disconnected. VSC ending by the looks of it. No, not yet.
You can pit now and the end on the Ultra Softs or Softs. Yeah, that laser advantage in time.
Well, if the VSC keeps going on, Blizzard could quite easily pit. It's still ongoing. Is he going to pit? Nope, he's not. He's going to stay out. And there you go. They are racing again. So Milan will get past Seb's AI car. Hamilton picks up another 3-second time penalty. He's chasing the lapped car of Shane. There you go. That's him through nicely. Now back to it then. The battle for P7 Mini around the outside. Surely not there. Was on the just about, gives him enough room, squeezes him out wide, almost into the wall. Mini looking much quicker though at this stage, although he does just pick up a 3-second time penalty. Shane's picked up another 3-second time penalty, and oh, I thought he got wing damage there, Mini, but obviously not. Can he get past? That is the question. He's been struggling. Obviously, last lap VSE was deployed and he couldn't overtake using the DRS. It looks much better this time though. Down into turn 1, Zonda goes very defensive. Mini trying to go around the outside. Zonda goes a little bit deep, I think, and up the inside of turn 3. It's a nice camera angle actually there for what I wanted, and he is indeed past the Red Bull of Zonda. 2 former F1 drivers, 1 a former F1 winner. Of course, Zonda winning in Malaysia in the wet in the changeable conditions. These two have got a fair bit of experience behind them, but it is Mini at the moment getting the better of Zonda in the Red Bull.
For 8th and 9th, shows how the potential of 2 drivers like Blizzard and Aaron and Manuel Allen and Seb as well, showing very strong pace. So.
Well, Seb actually won't be classified, so obviously you've got to take him out of the equation. Which actually means that Aaron will get a podium once he gets past, which won't be too long. 2 Ferraris running quite strongly, 5th and 6th for the 2 of those. Zonda's had an incident, and I think he's got away with just a spin. But it's Alduro that is chasing Mini now, and that could end up in floods of tears, depending on how aggressive he goes on the Mercedes.
Manuel Hamilton picks up another penalty, and Blizzard picks up his first penalty.
So not everyone is invincible to the track limits here at Singapore. It is a tricky one. Yeah. I'll put my hand up to that. I'm myself in a little bit of a sticky situation regarding penalties. But at the moment, I'm pretty sure everyone has a time penalty apart from Bendel. I may be wrong with that though.
He's done 13 laps on these soft tyres as well. He's going ultra long. This stint.
Has he stopped? Yes, so he can go to the end. But I don't think he'll take those soft 28 laps. Shane, and he's going to get disqualified. And he's going to miss out on an easy point. The Lee already retiring from the session, of course. And Aldoro's actually caught right up to the back of Mini now. He's on fresh ultra softs or fresh air. Anyway, who's this in front of Mini? It is the ghosted car of Miles, so that won't be a problem to dispatch. Flies past him. Not quite yet, there we go. Great camera angle this. Alduro ever gaining on the back of that Mercedes.
So Hamilton has been catching Aaron. I've just noticed this now. 90 seconds is the gap between Hamilton and Aaron. The tyres are identical within an lap apart, so this is a legitimate fight about to happen.
Yep, just keeping an eye on these two for a couple of corners longer just before the gap gets cut down. Kingdom JJ picks up a 3-second time pen as well. And at the moment Mini is keeping Alduro at bay, but for how much longer we remain to see. Hamilton catching Aaron still, gap hovering at 1.3 now. It was 1.5 a couple of moments ago, but he's unable to get it down anymore by the looks of it. Back to Alduro and Mini, and Alduro is very close to the back of the Mercedes, looks to the inside with the DRS, dives up the inside. Mini looking for the switchback, and you know what, he may have just done it, but Alduro is never letting him out easy there, and I think he just got away with that wing damage. Surely not up the inside here, and he's definitely got a warning for that, and he's, oh my god, Mini has hit the wall so many times, and that is very stupid indeed. You're never going up the inside of that corner. He's got the grip, but he needs to be more patient. He needs to choose his opportunities. That is reckless, and he's paid the price for it.
Yeah, he needs to like keep it calm and like understand when is the right time to move instead of going for every single corner.
Yeah, I was about to say exactly what you just said. He's making a move every single corner. Milan's in the pits. He's actually lost his front wing again, so maybe that's why. Hamilton up the inside of Aaron, then 4P2. That is legit for position. And he is now onto that second podium spot, and barring any safety cars, let me just find the stops here. Yeah, Hamilton made 2 stops, of course. Aaron has only made the 1 stop, but for the moment, let me try and find it. What am I looking for here? Tyres, that's what I need. So Aaron has been on those tyres 7 laps, so he can actually go to the end, so not a problem there. Blizzard almost has a whole pit stop in hand. Well, they will come up behind those guys and they might go to the end, so that could be interesting. Bendel currently net P4. Who would have thought it?
Yeah, strong race he's had so far. Still on the soft tyres, 15 laps old, same as...
Kingham JJ is catching him though.
No, he's fresh softs, 5 laps old, compared to 15 laps old on Bendel's tyres.
Aldoro has come out on this ultra softs again. No, he's not, he's come out on softs, the game. Game showing us ultras, but he is actually on soft, so he will go to the end. He's currently in the final point scoring position. Technically, actually, that's Shane the Boss, because he'll be bumped up because Seb is not in the session.
Yeah, Blizzard pits for his final stop on the soft tyres, interesting enough. Good on ultras again, but that gives Hamilton the lead. And
he's onto the soft tyres?
Yeah.
Now that is interesting. Oh, did he hit the wall? Nope, he's all good.
Right, I know it's fine. But yeah, he could have gone ultras.
Could he take an ultras 13 laps? I reckon he could have.
Yeah.
Quite comfortably. I mean, we've got Mark. Oh, mind you, they're all ghost cars. I was going to say you've got 7 on 16 laps, but the AI would have surely pit them by now, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Bendel still going round. He's being caught by Kingham JJ though. 4P5, net P4. Mini getting caught by Milan now. Milan with that fresh front wing and tyres. And I'm pretty sure Shane the Boss is now 1 set of pens away from disqualification. Down the inside comes the Sauber, but he's not very aggressive, and it's giving the Mercedes another chance to hold on to that P7.
Much fresher tyres, should easily get past in the next couple of laps.
And Shane the Boss is defending from his teammate, even though he's being lapped. I'm not quite sure what on earth was going on there. He pulled over to the left hand side. Aldoro, I think, was going to dive up the inside, and then obviously had different ideas. Milan and Mini, there we go, that's the move. We've missed that, unfortunately. Mini having a look, but he knows he's running a different strategy. He's on 13 lap old softs, so he will be in the pits a little bit later. Milan on ultra softs, so he should be able to go to the end. 13 laps is doable.
Yes, it is. He could get a net P5 at the moment.
Bendel's got to stop again, so he has to stop. Bendel hasn't. Oh no, he has stopped. Sorry. So, I mean, let's be honest. Milan's going to catch Bendel quite easily. 4.5 seconds in 12 laps. Why did I say 16? Seb's AI is pitted, which means, and there you go, I did say it, 1 more away, and Shane has indeed been disqualified, so there goes that easy point. May get a safety car from this, you know.
Can do, yeah, only when the AI parks it.
Currently only 9 races, so half the grid nearly has either crashed or been disqualified.
Yeah.
That is quite astonishing.
Singapore is quite a harsh track in terms of...
Doro looks to be next, he's all over the place. Blizzard in the meantime is catching these guys up front. 1.5 is the gap. Kingham JJ and Milan and Bendel all going to be having a scrap for P4 pretty soon as well.
Yeah. Albeit Milan, I mean Kingham JJ has sort of lost second on Bendel, interestingly enough, despite being on the pressure tyres.
Yeah, not quite sure why that is. Is he focusing on Milan quite a bit? Looks a lot smoother, does Milan. Aaron's had a bit of an incident. No, he hasn't. He's just been passed by Blizzard into the DRS stretch at turn 1. Fairly easy move for the Mercedes driver.
7.4 seconds. And you think with Hamilton's penalties, it would be relatively easy to stick the win. So.
Here goes Milan then. Team JJ goes defensive, but Milan all over the back of him. Doesn't go for the move, interestingly. Get with the DRS stretch, I would imagine. It's very close to the back of King and JJ through turn 3. Milan's had a really good race today, actually. So yeah, started P7 and he's on for P4 right now. Too far back though. I wonder if he's just saving a little bit of electrical charge. He is quite low, so maybe that is the case. Aaron up 7 places, Bendel up 9. Very good races from those guys. Mini not far behind these guys either, 2.2 behind, and they're going to be getting held up by Bendel. So we could have a 4-way battle for P4 if this continues to go on. Milan, not the most aggressive of drivers, which is good because we've already seen what happens to aggressive drivers today. And Mini's caught 7/10 in a matter of corners. He's caught even more coming out the hairpin. So King JJ really starting to hold Milan up now, and Bendel as well, not too far ahead. He's doing actually a really good job because the gap isn't particularly coming down. He's on much older tyres. But these two definitely struggling.
Side by side and gets...
Oh my goodness, you don't see that very often. Move into the tunnel. And it's Bendel up next.
He missed Apex completely and went really wide.
Oh, it's interesting then. Mini into the pit, so he obviously feels that the guys in front are going to have to pit again, and he doesn't want to go to the end. How long has he gone on those tyres? Let's just have a little check before he... So he's done 16 laps on those, so he probably could have taken them to the end. 26 laps, maybe not. With a bit of push, you can do the one stop here. But Manuel Hamilton picking up another 3-second time penalty. Not good for him.
Gets past Bendel.
Oh yeah, but that was a very easy move by the looks of it.
Yeah,
How
Bendel
close
19
is
laps on those
Blizzard?
tyres. You'd imagine he'd have to pit again.
Yeah, almost definitely, yep. Zonda also into the pits, not that he's fighting anyone for position. Actually, he is fighting Alduro, so he will be picked off now. Keem JJ less than a second behind Bendel. He does look a little bit quicker.
He's not gaining as much as I thought, despite being on 10 laps younger tyres.
Maybe just saving.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, as you say, not particularly gaining on the Ferrari in front. Milan is actually on for a podium here because I think Aaron will stop again. Mind you, he pitted lap 10, so I don't know actually. But he's got 20 seconds to gain, and Manuel Hamilton is 34 seconds in front, so probably doesn't have that much in time pens, although he may... Actually, no, he won't stop again either. So, yeah, unless he makes a mistake, and Milan is on quicker tyres, of course. We'll see how that plays out then. But this is the main battle at the moment. For P5, Bendel doesn't need to stop again. He's made his one mandatory pit stop, but it's whether those soft tyres can hold up enough to keep him in front of that Renault who looks not the quickest behind, but he's just picking his moment. I think he's just waiting for the opportunity. And Mini, of course, is only... well, he's 20 seconds behind, but if he gains 2 seconds a lap, he will be right onto the back of these guys. Their tyres are going to be a lot older than his and a lot slower. The softs are about 1.6 seconds slower than the ultra softs when fresh, and you can just imagine what that's like with extra fuel and wear. So it wouldn't surprise me if Mini pops in a couple of fastest laps as well whilst he's at it.
Did you see Bendel now starting to struggle? I mean, this is the closest KMJJ's been since the beginning of this stint. 6/10 now, still within DRS range. And he said he might be picking his moment, saving his ERS. Mini is going to catch him. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, he's a lot quicker, isn't he? Already down to, well, 18 seconds. I was going to say 17, but it is just over 18 seconds. This is going to be interesting, though, the battle for P5. Bendel, much older tyres, as you can see there. Twice the age, in fact. And there you go, he does pit, so he obviously feels that those tyres weren't holding up. And I'd be surprised if he doesn't go on ultra softs here, because if he goes on hypers, he's going to be so slow towards the end of his stint. And he is, I'm pretty sure that's hypers. Let's just have a little look. No, it is the ultra soft, so thank goodness for that. Mini goes past. So Bendel time to push there. Now Doro is not going to get him, neither is Zonda. Zonda in fact nearly a lap down. Bendel comes out in P8. So this is interesting because Kingham JJ has the position by 15 seconds. He's on dying softs. He's not going to be getting DRS anymore, so he's going to be having to generate his straight line speed purely from his ERS and his fuel mixes. So it's going to be a question of A, can he make the tyres hold up, and B, can he manage his fuel and ERS enough for when Mini ends up catching him, because it's inevitable that he is going to catch him in my mind anyway. But 7.5 laps to go, and that gap has come down by 7 seconds already in a matter of 2 laps, so he's really got to start putting in the laps now, Kingham JJ.
I mean, that's all, if he feels that he's going to cry enough pit, but it'll be very interesting to see how he'll defend between two ultra soft runners, including Bendel. Bendel might be able to catch him in the number of laps.
Another 3-second time pad for Manuel Hamilton. It is going from bad to worse for the Ferrari driver this evening.
He's had, how many penalties he's had? He's had 7 penalties. Am I right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 penalties, right?
So it is 18 seconds. Blizzard catching as well. We actually finished behind Aaron and possibly Milan if he keeps going. Milan, although not that quick at the moment. Mini has got that gap down to 11 seconds already. He's flying on those ultra softs. Bendel not so much. Not quite sure how he lost so much time actually, because he was just in front of Mini. And now he's pitted.
He was, but the time delta between the ultras, fresh ultras.
Yeah, evident there is 10 seconds. Although I'd say Mini is probably a quicker driver as well, so that you've got to take into account. But yeah, definitely helped to get past Bendel. And Alduro is out of the race. We'll try and ride on board with Zonda to see where he's binned it. And okay, so it was somewhere around the first corner. Whether he retired in the pit lane or not quite sure. But Alduro is gone, which means we have 8 finishes because Seb has left the session. So all half the grid have gone from this race.
Yeah. That was a very demanding track in terms of car and anything else.
Mini needs to gain 1.5 seconds a lap now. But the ultrasofts will begin to drop off, but will they have more grip than the softs on the Renault in front? That is the question. The question as well, does he have the fuel, does he have the ERS, and does he have the concentration to keep that Mercedes out the wall?
Gap's now 8 seconds. Yeah, it's only a matter of time, isn't it? You imagine. I think it'll probably be done if he's patient enough on the lap 30, I'd imagine.
Matter of how, rather than when. So let's just look at the fastest lap times. Mini with a 40.3, Kingham JJ with a 40.2, so that just gives you a sort of gauge on how much quicker he is lapping at this stage of the race. Of course his lap times won't be their last lap, because that is their fastest lap. So I think they should implement that, a last lap time. That'd be quite good actually to see. the last lap time.
It'll be helpful to find out how much.
Would be very nice, wouldn't it?
It'll make it more exciting. I mean, like someone's getting to like 2 seconds per lap. There you go. So we've got what we've got right now. So the gap is now 6 seconds.
6.666. And yeah, he's going to catch Kingdom JJ. It's just a matter of passing him. He's going to catch him with about 2 laps to go at this rate as well. And it is a shame actually as well, because Blizzard is not going to catch Hamilton. But Hamilton has so many time penalties, he's going to finish behind Blizzard anyway, so it's unfortunate in that sense. Aaron's struggling as well actually, he's dropped off. He's dropping off big time.
Yeah, he's on the
16 lap old softs.
Yeah.
So yeah, beginning to feel it, but he's on the same age tyres as Manuel Hamilton, and he's dropping off of him, so interesting there.
Yeah, we're not enjoying the softs as Hamilton is. Hamilton actually is enjoying the softs despite having the penalties. He's still, still managing the time between Blizzard.
I was going to say Blizzard has actually dropped back a little bit there in that final sector. So although Manuel Hamilton's no way going to win the race unless Blizzard puts it in the wall, he's got 18 seconds worth of penalties and any more that he gets in the next 5 laps.
Yeah, this is a good stint from Hamilton, the penalties. It actually is a very strong stint. Just if he didn't get those warnings, he could be winning this race, but as a given.
Mini continues to get the gap down. It is getting a little bit slower now, the pace he's catching the Renault, but he is still catching at a large amount each lap. And the gap is going to be about just under 4 seconds by the time they finish the lap, so he's going to have to catch it about a second a lap.
Which is what he's been doing in the last 3 or 4 laps actually. Has been catching him about 1.6 seconds per lap.
Already a second nearly in that final sector. We're not even through the final sector yet. He is taking chunks out of that Renault.
The gap's now 3 seconds.
Should find a ball with Kingdom JJ, just see how much he's struggling. See the speed difference there from the Renault and the Mercedes into turn 3. Much more confidence from the Mercedes driver as well. Considering he had an early pit stop as well because of wing damage, I think many would be quite happy with his performance tonight. Though he's well off the leaders. He's fought back quite nicely.
Yeah.
You see the speed difference.
Even though he's a minute off the lead, he's still doing his bit to get to 5.
Oh, he just taps the wall. I think again he's managed to get away without wing damage. Not quite sure how. Tapped the wall on multiple occasions. Taking another half a second out of the Renault car in front. A bit of a slide, he loses a little bit of time. Only a 10th though. It's into the braking zone where he'll gain all that time back. 2.3 seconds is the gap, and Blizzard is actually dropping back hugely, and he's got wing damage. So Blizzard has a end plate missing. Now, I'm going to be honest here. I'm pretty sure Hamilton can't pull the time he needs, but Blizzard has a 3-second time penalty, and he's very slow. So if Hamilton can keep it clean and put out another 6 seconds, he will be the winner of this race.
How many penalties? 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12, 18 seconds. So 15 seconds. Yeah, he needs another 6 seconds.
Milan picks up the time penalty. And here we go then, Mini onto the back of Kingdom JJ, almost in DRS range with 3 laps to go. 4 laps to go, sorry. That gap up to nearly 10 seconds already, although having said that, he's just taken 3/10 out of him, so Hamilton obviously struggling himself on those aging softs. Goes through the fast corners where he's going to suffer, and look, he's touched the wall again. downshifting
one
to
warning away from that.
third, trying to get through that corner without a warning. He's lost a second in that last sector. It is possible, and if he hits the wall again, my goodness, that would spice things up.
I know Hamilton is one warning away from a minimum penalty, so...
And he probably doesn't even know. Although if he's putting the gap, surely... Oh, we've got a yellow in sector 2, it's Mini! Oh! He was pushing so hard, that'd be a relief for King... Oh, hang on. They were very close, but I'm presuming Mini's made a mistake and there's been no contact because he was 6 tenths down. Oh, that's such a shame.
Shame. It was looking so strong for him. P5 is just there, unfortunately.
He's only 4 seconds in front of Bendel as well. I don't know if Bendel has pens.
So, but then he spun in the middle of the street. He probably had a contact from William JJ somewhere, but unfortunate.
We could have a very eventful end to this race. Blizzard is hanging on by a thread to P1 because of the amount of time pens that Manuel Hamilton has. Not that Manuel Hamilton knows, but if he pulls a 15-second gap without getting another warning, he will be the winner. But he's got to pull another 3 seconds yet without getting a warning, which you would think is quite easy, but having picked up already 18 seconds of time pens, it's going to be a tall order for him, I feel.
There's that. I mean, then there's a hits the wall again. There's a lot of time there. Pick up another warning, he does get a penalty, so there you go. That's to not get a penalty as well. At the moment he's keeping it cool. Did pick up 2 warnings on this lap alone, so
who's that?
He's
sorry?
also on the cusp of Blizzard.
Oh, so he is, yeah, so he's actually on the cusp of giving Manuel Hamilton the win almost.
Yeah.
Had the win in the bag, he didn't need to push, all he had to do was maintain a gap. He's pushed too hard. He's paid the ultimate price, and it is a second with 2 laps to go. You have to say now, it's goodbye, 25 points for Blizzard. Manuel Hamilton going to claim the 25 today, but if he gets a warning, all changes.
It does for both of them. But he has kept it clean all this time, and he goes really wide into Manuel Hamilton.
Zonda's still going round, is he? Yep. They must be close to getting lapped, these guys. Yeah, they're fairly close, but not going to get lapped in the final remaining laps. Mini's gone massively wide. Bendel now has 2 laps to attack for the Mercedes. Can Mini hold on? Be interested to see if Bendel can get past. He is quite cautious when trying to get past someone, but Mini does have that front wing damage, so we'll see how that pans out. 15 seconds is now the gap between the race leader and second place VSR Blizzard. Oh my goodness, that was close to a warning. He was so close to cutting turn 1 Manuel Hamilton. All he's got to do is keep it clean now, and Blizzard will be sunk into P2. Aaron, meanwhile, has been struggling for a large amount of time. He's just doing his own thing. He's got 13 seconds behind and 21 seconds in front. He is in the definition of no man's land. Having said that, King of JJ is pretty much in the same place as well. He's got 11 seconds behind, 19 in front. But it's this battle for P6 that we are watching now. These two were close together earlier on. Mini then stopped a couple of laps earlier, gained an enormous amount of time on Bendel. He's then sustained wing damage a couple of laps ago after a spin, possibly with Kingham JJ. We are yet to find out the details of that one. And then Bendel has caught back up to Mini because of that wing damage. It's going to be in this last corner where he catches him.
Gap to 17 seconds to the lead. I don't think he is enough.
Is Bendel going to get past into turn 1? He's got the DRS, and Mini had a horrible exit because of that front wing, and up the inside he goes. Mini trying to fight back when he really hasn't got anything to fight with, although having said that, he almost hits the back of the Ferrari. He's still fighting. But it is going to be Manuel Hamilton that comes across the line in P1. Will he stay there? I'm pretty sure he will, because he's got 18 seconds of pens, and VSR Blizzard has 3 seconds of pens, which means the gap that he needed was 15 seconds after sustaining wing damage in the final few laps. It has meant that Manuel Hamilton has been able to pull away and get the gap he needs. A second place finish for Blizzard as Mini picks up 3 seconds. And there you go. 3.1 was the gap in the end. Aaron will come across the line P3 when he does. Just go back to this battle quickly. Mini still fighting because he doesn't know how many penalties Bendel has. Don't think he'll be able to get past though. Aaron comes through the fireworks. Nice frame rate drop as he comes across the line in P3. Milan's going to come across the line in P4. It's still close between these two. Having said that, Zonda will pick up P8 because Seb isn't in the session. Yep, just to confirm that. Marklin also not in the session. Miles also not in the session, so they won't be classified. Can he somehow engineer a move in this final sector with that wing damage? With the older tyres glued to the back of Bendel. I'm going to tell you what, he was so close to hitting the wall there. Was the Ferrari Kingdom. JJ crosses the line P5. And Lamb P4, good finish for him. But it is going to be Bendel that fends off Mini for P6. I'm pretty sure Mini has an extra time pen as well. Good race from both of those guys though. 31 laps in Singapore is done and dusted for another season, and I'm pretty sure quite a lot of the drivers will be grateful that that's not coming around for a while yet. There we have it. Manuel Hamilton is your race winner after a very controversial start to the race. Blizzard putting VG-Sep into the wall and Aldoro causing mayhem further down, but it is Manuel Hamilton that takes the win here in Singapore. And just to confirm those results, there we have it. Manuel Hamilton picking up 18 seconds of penalties and still winning. That has got to be that's got to be the biggest margin, the largest amount of time pens and still getting a win, because I've never seen that many time penalties and still even get top 3, let alone a win. That is quite extraordinary.
Yeah. That is quite very extraordinary. His pace on the soft tyres was so strong. There's questions on Blizzard's strategy. Going onto the soft tyres with 12 laps to go, it was a questionable strategy, and it kind of paid dividends really. Going on the Ultras was probably the most smarter and more safer route, but go and having that strong pace on the soft tyres, despite the penalties, did everything he needed to do to win the race.
Yep.
In P3.
Mini will be classified P7 and Zonda will be classified P8, just to confirm that. Bendel was the only driver not to pick up a time pen in the end, so congratulations to him. And yeah, that's going to be it from us for now. We are at Spain, I believe, next week at the Barcelona de Catalunya, so that'll be an interesting race as well. Very different strategies could play out there once again, especially with the new tyres. Actually, I'm not quite sure what the tyre compounds are there, so I'll have to check that up.
They are super soft medium.
Yeah, so we could see some very interesting strategies there. Different tyres from last season. But for now, it's goodbye from me, goodbye from Dougie, and we'll see you next week for the Spanish Grand Prix.